Yo, welcome to the KaneSaid Sports Show, and I'm your host, Kane Bradfield. And y'all know my slogan, the fame is free, but the grind costs, baby.
Do it.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of KaneSaid. And I'm your host, Kane Bradfield. Y'all know my slogan, the fame is free, but the grind costs, baby. Listen, I got my dog in the house, man. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, Kane.
Man, let the people know who you are, baby.
My name's Vacher Hammett, or go by Coach Hammett. I've been coaching here in LaGrange probably about 20 plus years. I have my own travel basketball organization. I've coached at Gardner Middle School, also present-day coach at Lone Cane Middle School. And I also coached at Sound Doctrine Christian Academy.
Man, that's what's up, man. And I got my co-host in the house, man. Let them know.
Hey, CPT certified, man. Coach Fannin, what's happening?
I dig it, man. I dig it. So, big dog, again, man, appreciate you coming. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yes,
just blessing us, man. But big, like I said, man, when it comes to basketball, man, you got a history. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows Vacher, man. When people say basketball, say AAU, man, your name come around, man. But my question to you, big dog, where that love come from, man?
Man, I'm a competitive guy, and one of my best friend, childhood friend, Marlon Simpson, he's a pastor right now. The older kids in the neighborhood, they worship him.
Really?
He was younger. I mean, he's older than me, but he was worshiped by the older kids, and that was my competitive streak came from.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched him. He was the fastest kid. He was the best basketball player, baseball, football. He did it all. And then one day it just clicked. It clicked, and I said, no, I'm tired of this.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it, bro.
Yeah.
So I got to grinding. And next thing you know, start playing rec. First year of rec, I was so scared. I didn't know what to do. Right. Coach told me to stand on the block. I stayed on the block. I didn't even move. I was too scared.
Right.
But after a couple years, I started working on my game.
Okay.
When I was about 11 years old, I took over rec. I literally took over. MVP, you name it, I got it. Middle school, I was a man in middle school. I was averaging about 30 points a game in middle school my 8th grade year. Went on to high school. High school coaches would come to the middle school games. Went on to high school. As a 9th grader, I was playing varsity. I was playing right away, getting a lot of minutes as a 9th grader.
And what school is this?
This is LaGrange High School.
Okay.
LaGrange High School.
That's what I thought.
Out of high school, I had gotten an offer to Alabama State.
Hey.
And
Yeah, that you ready, Mike? You know what I mean?
and the thing that happened then changed my life. My mom got diagnosed. She had a tumor in her stomach, probably the size of a football.
Wow.
Sheesh.
So I had just got my room key and everything, and I had to make a decision because she was a single parent.
Gotcha.
So I moved back home, and I went to LaGrange College. They had a tryout. I went there, and Randy Unger was the coach at the time.
So you blessed them.
I blessed him. So he put a package together. I was a pretty good student, so I got money for academics and things. They put a package together, and they were NAI at that time.
Okay.
My freshman year, scored 25. I was averaging 25 all conference, and it took off from there. And then I just got an interest in coaching. Pastor Parham gave me my first opportunity to coach.
Okay.
Pastor is he's the dean at Sound Doctrine Christian Academy. He and I started a program, and we actually had an elite program. We had kids from all over the country that we housed.
But I remember that, though.
Me too.
For instance,
I remember that too.
Yeah, and everybody, they was like, y'all crazy. Y'all can't do that. Most of our kids were from California.
Sure.
I coached 2 NBA players' sons. They came to LaGrange to play for me, us. And it took off from there, and I had a passion for it. And myself and Otis Gibb started the LaGrange Warriors.
Gotcha.
But even before then, I met you.
Right.
You may not remember that.
Okay. Oh, help me out now. Help me out now.
Chuck Sight, mutual friend. Chuck Sight.
Shout out to my boy Chuck.
Yeah.
All right, mutual friend, and we did a video. You may not remember this. It was at William Griggs with my daughter. Them when you first got into training, you had them over there. We shot a video.
He was in the Ford Taurus.
So you don't remember that?
Come on, hold on.
You don't
remember that. Lady, give me a second.
Then when you first came out.
He was in the Clockmobile.
Yeah.
Then when he first came, they first hit LaGrange.
Rocking that video.
It was a video. They were doing some drills, some workouts at William Griggs.
No.
Come on, pull from it. Pull.
I'm starting to feel that now.
Pull from it.
So I've been knowing you for a long time, man. That was a long time ago.
That was, man. Cause you talking about, I remember, bro, I did a lot of my training at Griggs.
Yes. That's what I'm telling you.
It was that long ago.
You know I'm not making it
You're not making it up, dog. And then for you to drop Chuck name, like, a long time ago, dog.
So Sykes, he went to Sound Doctrine, so he was helping me with those kids.
Yes.
He was helping me with those kids, and Pastor Parham, that's my best friend.
Right.
And he believed in me. I was working at Radio Shack. Him and Brother Stanley Shepherd came.
Shout out, man. That's my dog, baby.
Blowing the fire.
Yes.
They came in the Radio Shack. Stanley brought Pastor in there and said, hey, there your coach is right there, Pastor. So Pastor came to me and he was like, so Mr. Hammett, have you thought about teaching? Have you thought about coaching basketball?
Yeah.
Stanley speaks highly of you and say you know the game and things. You can build a program over here. I walked away from Radio Shack, went to Sound Doctrine.
Right then.
Just like that.
Just like that. And, it was rough. It was rocky.
Most
But that's how I got into teaching. And that's how I got into really coaching. And we won championships there. And we went everywhere in the Southeast. I played Oak Hill. Steve Smith.
Right.
I played Steve Smith twice. You know what I'm
Vacher,
saying?
listen, I'm going to tell you what's crazy, man. Man, as you talk, I remember Sound Doc used to be that heat.
Yes.
Heat.
Yes. I got a kid that played for me, and Bernard Brooks will tell you, right now he's one of the leading trainers in the NBA. Wow. His name is Johnny Steffine, handle life, dribble too much.
White guy?
Black guy. He trained Durant, DeRozan, CP3.
Wow.
Yes, he's from Boynton Beach, Florida.
Man.
Yeah, yeah.
So I got a question though,
Yes, sir.
before we get too far into coaching. Like when you were younger, high school, college, like who did you pattern your game after? Like, or what was your strength in basketball?
I always been a shooter.
See, I know from intramural. So I didn't catch high school. I didn't catch college.
Yeah.
I caught intramural shooting. So okay, so shooter.
I was a shooter. I like Larry Bird.
Okay.
I like Reggie Miller.
Okay.
Those
Coming off
guys,
of
right? Coming off those screens. Because I wasn't a great athlete. I wasn't
You
the one
shoot
with
that thing.
You
I could
just use your
shoot
body.
cover off of it.
Yeah, you could.
You know what I'm saying? And I
You could.
I could think the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So let me tell you though, Mike. I mean, that was good though, bro. Cause man, shout out my boy Michael Stogner, man. He told me about you. He said, "Kane, you just shoot that thing, boy." He said, "In high school, you just light it up." Look at him, Mike. Yeah.
Mike Starner can shoot.
Yeah, right. He told me that, bro. He told me, he said, "Man, you could light that thing up." So shooting was your thing.
Shooting was my thing. And I didn't care what position I played because, like I said, I was a thinker.
Right.
And I knew how to use the players that were around me.
Okay.
Like my freshman year, we had a 7-footer at LaGrange College that transferred from Boston University.
Wow.
I led the team in rebound.
Wow.
Because I knew how to block.
Strategic.
I was tough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It didn't matter where I was tough.
Right.
And then, you got coaches, they know, they look at film and say, he's the shooter. But I used to manipulate the system. I come off a screen one time or fake like I'm coming off a screen. And my
flare 'em
coach
out.
gave me the green light.
Yeah, the green light powerful.
Oh, yeah, he gave me the green light. So if it's 2-on-1, he'll rather for me to shoot the 3 than to give it up.
Give it up.
Yeah.
That green light.
So that was early steps.
That was the early step. Yeah. I'm the step before step.
Yeah. Man, I love it,
I'm
man.
the step before step.
Look, though. Okay, man, listen, man. I want to dig more in the sound doctrine, man.
Okay.
Give me
I was gonna
more
ask that
of that.
too.
What year was it?
Yeah.
Let me get that.
Okay.
I can't because I remember this, but I don't know if it was like after I got out of school or high school or before? I can't really remember. So what year was it?
You remember when Tristan Delaney, that group was at Troop that made it to the finals?
Yep.
Tristan Delaney,
Yep.
Paulo.
And Fry?
Fry.
Yep.
Fry was actually under them.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, that group right there, their senior year, that's when we started our program.
Okay.
All right, we started our program, and I had several kids from California. They parents brought them here.
But I mean, break you though.
Yeah.
But what's the process, man, of being able to get a kid from Cali to come here? Like, what's the selling point? I guess I'm trying to say.
That's a
All
good
right,
question.
this
Selling
is how
point.
we learned how to get that program going. We played in a national tournament up in Tennessee. It was national champions tournament, whatever. And there were a lot of guys that had prep schools. Right then, we were just a regular school, had regular kids. But Michael Beasley was there, Gerald Green, all them cats was in high school when we were going up there. We ain't had nothing like that.
Right.
So we started rubbing elbows with people, and they started telling us, hey, this is how we getting kids and this and that.
Right.
And then this guy named Tony, I can't remember what Tony's last name, but he was from Detroit.
Okay.
And he had connection with a guy in California. And this is when prep school just burst on the scene, because that was the thing to go
Right.
to go with the competition.
Right.
So he started getting contacts with kids and stuff, and all of a sudden the kids just start coming in, man. We had kids from Tennessee, Florida, New York, Philadelphia. We had some kids from Russia, 2 kids from Russia.
That's crazy.
So what was like? So when they finally got off the exit and was on Lafayette Parkway and pulled up on Hamilton Road, what was their first like what was their first impression of LaGrange?
It was a culture shock.
I know it was.
It was a
I
culture
know
shock
it was.
because everything's a lot slower than what they're used to.
Yep.
And to be honest, the kids from California,
They want
you
to
can
go back.
associate them. No, they didn't, because they knew what their objectives were. Like,
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Here, we it take us a long time to process and go hardly as parents to push our kids in the right direction.
Right.
Yes, sir.
No, they were already on it. Like training.
They knew their job already.
Exactly. So like training, like you've been a blessing. But them kids from California had trainers back then.
Been doing
Gotcha.
it.
You know what I'm saying? So now you brought something to
the
our
city.
community,
Right.
but they've been doing it a long time, because them kids from California, you associate them with Hollywood.
Right.
And they got some little ego,
Right.
they
Yeah.
cocky.
Right.
So I remember one day in practice, I had all of them lined up. I said, how many of y'all think y'all D1 players? Every one of the kids from California raised their hand. And I went down the line. You're not D1. You're not D1. It's a possibility. You're not D1. And then they was like, I listened to them. They had trainers. They were putting up 500 and 600 jumpers.
Wow.
I'm like, how in the world 5?
Yeah.
I said, dude, I ain't never been in the gym and shot 500 shots.
Right.
I guarantee you I can outshoot you. They didn't believe, but I had to show them.
You had to show
know what I'm saying?
them
I had to show them. But that's the mentality they had, and our kids were lacking that.
We were behind time.
We were behind time. So the things that you're doing now and what you're providing to the community, those kids,
They've been on it.
They've been on it. They've been on it.
Yep.
These kids right now probably close to 30 years old. So I had them when they were about
15,
18, 16, 17, 18 years
Okay.
old.
Yep.
So you're
Yep.
talking about another 10 to 12
Man.
years ago,
Head of the
they
game.
already was doing
Head
it.
of the game, yo.
So
Yo.
what you bringing and what you have brought to the community is something that Atlanta, they've been doing it in Atlanta.
Right.
They've been doing it in California. And we got to understand, to get ahead, it's going to take some extra training.
stuff.
It's
It
gonna
take
some
more.
extra stuff.
It take
Yeah.
more than that season.
Yeah,
Yes.
for
It take
sure.
more than that
Yes.
season.
For sure,
Exactly.
man. For
Yeah.
sure, man.
Off
for
season
sure.
where you win.
Wow. So big dog. Okay, so let's fast forward a little bit, my guy. All right, so but once you got through with Sound Doctrine, what was the next move again? You said after that one.
All right, so I left Sound Doctrine and with Pastor's blessing, and I applied to Mr. Ward. My wife was teaching at Gardner Newman, so
Okay.
Mr. Ward was the principal.
Okay.
So Mr. Ward knew who I was, and he knew how I operated.
Right.
So Mr. Ward was like, hey, won't you come over to Gardner Newman and coach and be a teacher assistant? So I came over. He gave me the job. My first year, man, I had a bunch of football players. I'll never forget. A bunch of football players.
Right.
Start of the season, we didn't win a game, man. We didn't win a game. But I told them when we got back, right after Christmas, I said, guys, if y'all just work hard and listen to what I say, we can turn this around. We can beat everybody that beat us. So that first year, we turned it around. That second half of the season, we made it to the championship. We lost.
Okay.
All right, then after that, that's the era where I had Rico. He was a sixth grader then.
Okay.
Mike Hardy.
Okay.
All them guys.
Okay.
Then, so from Rico's sixth grade year all the way to his eighth grade year, we wreaked havoc. We wreaked havoc as I had Perry Young.
Right.
And as far as travel ball go, I had Perry Young, Rico, Mike Hardy, Dre Martin, Joe Brown.
You had a nice
Braylon Sanders.
Boy, he was deep.
I was 15 deep. And they'll tell you, I didn't have a starting five. The team tried to scout her.
Mix it up.
One group, we don't start the night. Another group start the next night. And,
But I'm going to tell you something, though, man. But it takes a lot of trust, you know what I mean, for your players to be okay with that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 'Cause that system there is a hard system.
Yeah.
It's a hard system, man. So they believe in you in general.
That's a
But
fact.
anybody, so that's I salute that on you, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, at Gardner Newman, we won 3 out of the 4 championships when I was there. And, those kids went on to high school.
And
even off the trail,
continued.
they continued.
Yeah, they
You
continued.
had Callaway make it to the Final Four several times. LaGrange's Elite 8, Final Four one time.
Yeah.
So all those kids, I kind of
See, but that's what
kinda-
that's what the middle school for, in my opinion, is to build the program.
Yeah.
Like whatever the feeder school is, like the middle school got to be in cahoot with the high school. So you just basically raising them, and it should continue. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the purpose of middle school. I think people get so caught up in wins and losses versus the teaching aspect of it. So you know what I'm saying? You gather your intel, and then of course you want to win.
Most
I mean,
definitely.
that's we are. You know what I mean? That's who we are. We competitive. We want to win.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you want to prepare for the next level.
You want to prepare.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I can tell that's what you did, just based on that turnaround from the first half to the second half. You know what I'm saying?
And that's been my philosophy anyway, to develop the kids for the next chapter of their lives.
Develop.
And, I get looked at because when I come to the gym or I have 20-plus players on my middle school team.
Oof.
From when I started at Gardner Newman up until now, I always had 20.
So
How do you handle that, though?
I'm about to say, but what's the science behind that? I mean, what's the reason you want that 20?
Science behind it for me is, all right, I don't want to rebuild when I lose my 8th graders. So I'm going to get me a good group of 7th graders. My 7th graders' job is to help the 8th graders win the championship. My 8th graders' job is to get us to the championship. So when my 8th grader leave, my 7th graders already got experience. They ready. So if I have a good enough 6th grader, I may pick up 3 6th graders to go along with that group of 7th graders. So since we don't have a 7th grade team and an 8th grade team, I'm putting them together. And they buy into the system. Everybody not going to be happy from a parent perspective or whatever.
And that's the part I look at. That coach, put me like, like nobody.
But go back to show how you sticking to your guns, though.
Yeah, I'm sticking to my guns, and like I said, I hear some flack sometimes.
Right.
Why you just get 15? No, I've been doing it for almost 9 years.
Y'all want them things. Yeah, I'm about to say, if it ain't broke, don't fix that.
That's a fact.
And like Mr. Fannin said, the middle school is building for the high school. So if I can send a good group of 8th graders up there, that gonna help build that program when they hit 9th grade. And then now you got another group that already don't play with this group. Now you've transferred. You in the 9th grade. You in the 10th grade.
It's a program.
Y'all still playing together.
It's a program.
Still playing together.
It's a program. I'm telling you.
I love that. So okay, big dog. So Gardner Newman, after Gardner Newman, talk to me.
After Gardner Newman, I I applied for this position at Lone Cane Middle School, and I was going to be behavior assistant specialist.
Okay.
It's a new independent thing. Wasn't micromanage or anything. My job was to create a caseload, monitor kids' behavior, be a positive role model, make sure they're doing the things they're supposed to do. So that first year, I didn't coach. And the second year, Mr. Giles came to me. He was the principal. And I want to shout out to Mr. Giles.
Most definitely.
Yeah, Mr. Giles came to me and asked me would I like to coach. So I ended up accepting the job, and I started coaching. And my first year, we didn't do too hot. Second year, I had A.J. Tucker, Bob, Jalen Young, and, they came from that Wolverine program that they've been together. So I just added some pieces to that puzzle, and we won it. You know what I'm saying? And then probably 2 years later, Mr. Giles came to me and said, Coach, you want to teach? What degree you have? And I told him what degree I have, and he said, look, I want you to be an exploratory teacher. So I'm like, what? Because I liked my job that I had. Right. There was a lot of freedom, and, you didn't have to deal on a daily basis with students or what have you. But talked to my wife, went for it. So now I've been teaching for 5 years now.
Wow. Okay, that's what's up.
Wow.
How you like education? How you like it?
I love it, man. I love my administrative staff. Miss Glisson is the principal.
Shout out to Miss Glisson.
Coach, Mr. Coach Classic.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you this, man.
All right.
Now Miss Glisson, she dungeon certified. She should work out in here.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah.
You can tell
She's different, right? You feel me?
You can tell.
Yeah.
She's tough. She's tough.
And then Keita, he dungeon certified. Like Keita been grinding with me too. So you surrounded by some, you know what I mean? Some
CPTers.
Yeah. So that's what's up. Go ahead, though.
Administrative staff, good. So you got Miss McAvell, Miss Smith, AD, Coach Meadows. They trying to make sure everything ran right, and and they work together. We all work together. So and the teachers, because my thing is what I do when I choose my team. I just sent out a massive email to everybody.
Most definitely.
Hey, these are the kids that made the team. You have any problems?
Let me know.
Email me, come by the room, or send that kid to me. So, that's the way we handle it.
Good relationship.
So was it any slack or any ill will or ill feelings leaving from Gardner Newman to Lone Cane?
You beat me too. I'm about to say, well, you know what that is now. Big dog.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean?
I don't think I can.
Mike, it sounds like Eco Wacko beat.
I don't think I can do it. I could be wrong.
You don't think you can do
I'm a Cavalier. I don't think I can go coach at Gardner Newman or Lone Cane.
That's different, though. So Cavalier would be like going to Hurd County.
No, not to me.
No,
not to me.
All of it, man.
Man, we rival with everybody. No.
I'm going to tell you
can't
now,
do it.
like, my wife is a diehard Granger.
Okay.
Yep.
Diehard Granger. I graduated from LaGrange High.
Exactly.
So it was different. It was different, but I felt like I needed a new challenge.
There you go.
Because I'm a competitor.
Right.
So I wanted to see, okay, you had success over here. Can you really coach? Can you
repeat.
really do it? And then, like I said, the job opportunity.
Helped you.
I mean, it was a
Help me
bigger
too,
picture,
so.
but you know what I mean?
Like, y'all great, but
it wasn't the same when Mr. Ward left.
Okay.
When you talking about Mr. Ward a competitor, man.
Right.
And he was a coach himself.
right.
So, he military too. So he was in that gym, checking out the kids and stuff like that. So I enjoyed having that administrator, that gone wanted to win.
Yeah.
Mr. Ward wanted to win in academics. He wanted Gardner Newman to be a high academic school. He was competitive with that. He was competitive with the debate team, anything. Mr. Ward.
He wanted to win.
He wanted to win. He wanted to win. So I fed off that.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
And when we played, I'm telling you what I missed though. When I had that team with Rico and all them, and Callaway had Joe Brown, Dre Martin, all them, it was a packed house. It was more parents and fans in middle school games than it was at the high school.
Yeah.
It was standing room only.
Yeah.
It was standing room. I missed those. I missed those games, man. Them days right there.
So okay, so it's
some good times.
We said, well, man.
Those was some good times.
But I missed all that, guy. I missed all that. But in your opinion, big dog, what is it gonna take to bring that back?
Is it gone?
Is it gone?
Let's add. Is it gone? Yes or no? And then if so,
What it gonna take?
I don't think it's gone. I think the mindset of the community now is football. It's football. I mean, it always have been football.
that's a fact.
But I think based on what the high schools start doing, the middle school, we have decent crowds there. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I think we got to get more people like you to the games. People like you to the games. And I saw Ward and Pastor.
Yeah.
They was talking about, y'all talking about the next up and coming star. You know, it ain't necessarily got to be the next up and coming star, but hey, I'm at the game. Look, we live. Blase. After the game, hey, can I grab such and such? So, hey, man, come on.
I like it.
How was the game? Tell me about the game. Who you paying your game after?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Exposure.
I think Elkerberry is spread it thin. And his focus right now is more so high school. He may come to a middle school championship or whatever.
Big game.
But I think there's an opening or a market for KaneSaid.
Right.
KaneSaid starting in the middle school and making it way up to the high school.
Off the glass.
But I'm gonna tell you something, man. There's a question I asked them guys, you know what I'm saying, last week, is what we're missing. And they said the same exact thing. Because what I want to do, like honestly, and it's something I've been talking about probably for the last year, man, is how to get more exposure with the middle school. You know what I mean? So that way the people will know by the time they get to high school, they gonna know.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So okay, so listen to those. So you're not gonna get together off camera and talk about definitely. I can pull it off. I really want to do more of that. I really want to do more of that. So big dog.
Another thing too, now you got a listening, viewing audience.
Yeah. Right.
So even if some games got recorded and you put some plays on there, hey, these the middle school plays of the week right here. This is such and such a show right here.
April Ross, you here, baby? I hope you're hearing this. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That. It's our word. We're gonna do that.
Parents, they gonna follow their kid. Yeah. Then they gonna call their person, hey, you see my son on KaneSaid?
Yeah.
Man, what?
Right.
Then they gonna tell their person. So now you got a whole community
we're gonna
engaged.
Do that. That's my word. We're gonna BTV. We're gonna do it,
That's
baby. We're gonna do it. Yeah, for sure, man. For sure, we're gonna do that. So big dog, let me ask you this, man. So now I'm gonna back up a little bit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So you was at Long Cane.
Yes, sir.
Okay, your first year. Man, was it tough coming in, cleaning up?
That's a good one.
I'm gonna tell you.
That's a great one.
For me, that coaching is in me and that competitive spirit is in me. So when I wasn't coaching that first year, I would be down the gym and watching the kids play. And then I went to the tryouts. There was some kids that didn't make it that I felt like should have made it. And then I go to the game and I like, I probably would have did something different right here.
Yeah.
So for me, I didn't know what to do with myself that first year.
That's the question I was going to ask.
I didn't know what to do with myself.
I was going to ask that.
I didn't know what to do with myself.
That's
so like when he asked me to coach that second year, because the head coach ended up leaving and going to, I want to say Hanley or somewhere like that. And then the other coach, he really was just there to help.
Right.
So when Mr. Jai asked me did I want to do it, me, I'm a coach. I'm ready for the challenge.
Let's do it.
Let's see, can we turn this thing around? They used to be my arch nemesis back in the day.
Right.
I said, but let's see, can we get basketball over here? Because football been king. It was the same thing at Gardner Newman. Football was king. Right. But when I got there, we turned that program around. Basketball was king.
Start turning heads around.
So now at Long Cane, that like I said, that first year, we didn't win it. We lost in the championship. Second year we won it. The third year we lost in the championship, I think. And the reason we lost, we had players getting hurt over the holidays. Jalen Young broke his wrist and all that stuff. Yeah, so stuff like that happened. So we end up losing in the championship. And then after that, Gardner Newman got stronger. Dustin does a good job at Gardner Newman, so he kind of been taking. He kind of dominant player over there. He does a good job over there. He and his staff does a good job over there. And then Callaway, they always competitive, man. Right. Even when Woodard was coaching them, you know what I'm saying? They got athletes over there. They got size over there. So, my thing is still they my nemesis. So
time to go get it.
It's time to get it. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go. Roll the ball out. Let's go.
And that's what I tell my kids. I say I need some dogs. We need some dogs, man. We got.
Because, man, I'm going to tell you something, man. I think as a coach, man, it's so important to input or impart, however you want to say it, your mentality, you know what I'm saying, to your players.
Yes.
So that's big you doing that, man, to get them to understand, like, yo, if it's a wall right here, I'm going to run through that wall.
Hey, exactly.
So, you got to run through with me.
Exactly.
So what's your coaching philosophy, though? Like, what's your philosophy? Like, are you a fast break, or you a pressing, or you a zoning, man-to-man all game, boxing one, or you play it by ear?
I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to be honest, and I'm guilty of it. I was spoiled when I had that team with Rico and all them. Because we pressed and we played man-to-man. Them guards didn't care. They didn't care.
Line to line.
Yeah.
Line to line.
Yeah.
They didn't care.
They were dogs.
They were dogs.
Yeah.
They didn't
were
care.
dogs.
So, I still try to incorporate that. I like the press. We're going to have an athletic team. We're not going to be very big, but we're going to be long and lanky, and we're going to be fast, so we're going to play fast. But I also like running half-court sets.
Okay.
Because you always going to run into somebody that just as athletic as you, just as fast as you are, and now you got to play in the half-court.
Down.
Exactly. So, and then also that prepares the kid for the high school level and the college level, because, a lot of high school teams don't run.
And
you gotta pick your poison.
And that's the thing, like, we get so caught up on you know what I'm saying? It's a time and a place. It's a time and a place. Right. But when it start getting to Elite 8, Final Four, this team versus this team for the ship, hey man, that ain't finna, because you don't know how the official gonna let you play. You know what I'm saying? It's so much to incorporate within that pot. So you got to be able to adjust and adapt, and you got to be able to play half court. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to. And I think, like, we struggle with running sets. You know what I'm saying? Like, we struggle with that because we so accustomed to playing outside or at the park, kick it out, let's go. You know what I'm saying? So,
So, Faith, let me ask you this, big dog. Man, what's the difference? I mean, I love asking that question to basketball coaches, man. Man, what's the difference from AAU and playing middle school ball? As far as the same age, I'm saying, but what's different as far as the style of play?
Where AAU is a lot more competitive. A lot more competitive because you see kids that are, say, 7th grade. You see 7th grade kids at 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". Talent-wise, it's off the charts.
No. But what about the sets and stuff I'm saying?
For me, in my program, I still run sets. I still run sets because at the end of the day, I got a lot of friends that coach college basketball.
Okay.
They want kids that can think.
Right.
Kids that can adjust on the fly. So
coachable.
They want coachable kids. They don't want kids that can only just run at one speed. You know what I'm saying? So they want them to change it up. So travel ball, it's faster.
Okay.
It is faster. It's faster because it's better athletes on one team. It's faster, but at the end of the day, if the fundamentals still have to be taught.
So, go ahead, finish. I'm not.
And I was listening to Coach Ward and
Gay,
Coach Gay. Coach Gay, and I call him Pastor, but Coach Gay. And
I ain't know he wasn't pastor until somebody said, "That's my pastor."
Yeah.
Go ahead,
so Pastor, and I was listening to them. it's hard, to take, say, for instance, a team like mine to play a team like the Atlanta Express. But I was listening to them. Those teams, they saying are good teams, good programs, but those are the same programs that really don't train their kids.
Ding, ding,
They
ding.
really don't teach
There
those
we go.
kids the
Ding,
fundamentals.
ding, ding.
What they do, they go out and recruit the best players that already can play.
Already
They just
got
sit
it.
Back.
Yep.
Prime example. This is one example. When I had Rico, then we were playing up at Clemson, and we played Team Loaded out of Virginia, they beat us. I think they beat us by 3 points. Their point guard was 6'4". Everything else was above that. You know what I'm saying? They were huge. And when I sat down with the coach, he said, "Man, we weren't prepared to play a team like y'all because they went and got size." I said, "What you mean, coach?" He said, we really don't practice like that. We fly our kids in to practice maybe one day, then we fly out to a tournament.
So they weren't prepared for basketball.
They weren't prepared for basketball, and they weren't prepared for little guards that were fast. They weren't prepared for us running plays. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that got them over the hump, they were just stronger and bigger.
Right.
So,
Like Kane and I, we talk about this all the time. Like as far as like, is AAU worth it? Like, is it like? Because you have some programs. I mean, you basically just said it. Like, roll the ball out. We here. What time we gotta be there?
Yeah.
Phew, let's play. You know what I'm saying? Versus still letting basketball development. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause like just like starting training, like it was hard for me to see how AAU was beneficial. Cause like again, I'm on the outside looking in, so it always seemed like when will the kids ever, or when do they develop their skills or enhance their skill? When do they get faster? When do they get stronger? You know what I'm saying? Like, when do they develop?
Right.
Because it seemed like it was so much playing going on. So how and when are you going to do that?
All right. For me, we practice at Long Cane Middle School. Okay. So as far as agility and things like that, I can do agility.
Right.
Even though like I'm up in age now, and my kids came to him for agility and stuff. So for me, I do that in my program. Help them get stronger in my program.
Right.
I'm not saying that all the programs do that.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm gonna say this too. I'm gonna play devil advocate. Just because that kid come and train and do agility and all the other stuff, that doesn't necessarily mean that gonna transition him into a great player.
Agreed. Agreed.
Got to be a great balance somewhere now.
There got to be a balance.
Has to be a balance in
Got to
there.
be a balance in there somewhere.
Agreed.
And like I said, for me, I don't have a problem. Like my son, Kane, my wife called Kane up in a minute. Hey, Kel needs some agility.
Right.
Tisha need to do some jumping.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sometimes for me, they work harder for somebody else.
That's a fact.
It's a different voice.
And for me, again, I want my son to get to the next level, my kids to get to the next level. Does that mean going outside of the box?
Right.
Yes, I don't have a problem. And our parents got to realize our kids are our investment. That's your investment. You want some return on your investment.
Yes.
You want some return on your investment.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So when my wife said she finna call Kane, call him. You know what I'm saying? Call him. We've been spoiled.
Right.
I got 2 daughters in college. We don't pay anything.
Right.
We don't pay a dime. We just send them gas money and grocery money.
It's a return of your investment.
That's a return on my investment. And we gotta get that mindset.
Yeah.
Sometimes, we gonna have to stop doing all the extra stuff, spending this money here and there, and put it on our kids.
Especially, man, and Big Dom, I'm glad
Yes,
you bring
sir.
it up, man. Especially, man, if you're thinking that your kid has an opportunity,
You gotta get them over the hump.
you gotta get him over the hump,
Gotta
man.
get 'em
Gotta get them over
Gotta
the
get him over the
hump.
hump, man. Because see, I'm gonna tell you what happened, man. I think this area is so guilty of it, man. We get so caught up in just focusing on this area. Like you said, you got people in Cali who want that same scholarship.
Same thing.
Going hard. Going hard,
and
man.
their parents already made up their mind. My son is going to get to that point.
Yep.
And I'm going to do what it takes for them to get to that point.
Yep.
And we sit back and we procrastinate and,
That's a good word.
we want to look at, well, he's talking about $150 for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Talk to him, big dog. Talk to him, big dog.
What is $150 compared to $25,000 a year?
Man. Come on, man. Come on,
Dang.
Preach.
Yes.
Preach.
We've been blessed, man. It's $200,000 total for my two kids to be where they at.
Scot-free.
I don't have it.
No, it's real talk, though.
We don't have it.
I don't have it.
A lot of people don't.
A
A lot of people don't.
Cause see, I'm gonna say something, man. A lot of us, man. First of all, man, we wasn't, educated on how to prepare for college.
Yeah.
Like financially, right? So again, man, this is an investment. If your kid can ball in a sport, man, you better put it in now.
And the thing is, there are a lot of schools out there that need players.
It's all. Just because it's not that one.
That one.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You still got that one.
That
You
one.
know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, it's so many. Like, if you can go to school for free, man, like you said, you cut your parents the biggest sigh of relief
Oh my gosh.
ever.
Oh my
And
gosh.
yourself, because you don't have to pay for college.
Right.
Like, you don't got to get student loans. You don't got to get Parent Plus. And
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a debt that you don't even have to worry about.
Exactly. When you get out, all you gotta do is work and make your money.
And then you don't know where or what direction you're going to go in once you go to that school. You know what I'm saying? You don't know who you're going to meet. You don't know or what that ball or, you know what I'm saying?
Network.
You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know
Some
what's going to happen.
Maybe doctors,
You don't-
lawyers
man.
you can call
you,
on.
man, you don't know,
You
man.
gotta
Like,
network. You gotta
you don't know.
network. Yeah.
Like, that sport can take you for a long ride.
But I really think that AAU and the high school and middle school can benefit from each other. You know what I'm saying? It would do a ton of good if a high school coach came to one of their player travel ball basketball games. It'll do that kid some good.
Yeah.
All right, so
Because it do seem like they battle each other.
sometimes they seem like they battle each other. And then at the same time, okay, that kid, like you said, if he can get over that hump, if that kid that talented and he's in that tournament where the coaches are, and he play against that kid that's supposed to be a premier kid and hold his own,
That two people get looked at
Yep.
that's it.
versus one.
That's it. And then, okay, now travel season over with, all I got to do is connect with the high school coach. Hey, coach, this is who looking at Johnny. We've been on the road. We've been doing travel ball. This who's reached out to me, asked for information. I gave him your number. Now you need
Ball in your court.
ball in your court. We need to tag team this and get this kid this scholarship.
Right.
So I think that's what needs to happen.
I like that.
I do.
I like that. So let me ask you this then, because you know what I mean. I'm gonna pick out what Coach Hammett said. So in terms of playing for AAU ball, whatever, how much is too much?
Oh, you took
yeah.
that one out of me. Good one.
I'm gonna tell you, for me, I kind of narrowed my high school stuff down to I may play a tournament in Columbus, so that way parents can see him.
Right.
Oldest, he's a friend of mine, so I play in the tournament. He is right here in LaGrange, so
Okay.
grandparents
So
can
see him.
him.
Yeah.
But I try to get to the exposure stuff. So maybe I may play 2 or 3 tournaments that are not exposure, and then April and July are the live periods. So I may play 1 or 2 tournaments in April, and then 1 in July, or 1 in April and 2 in July. So I don't try to go
them out.
everywhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So my thing is, it's travel ball and it costs money.
Right.
Just the word travel itself
Right.
lets you know
Ching-ching.
it costs money.
Right.
So, for me, I do it to try to get my high schools an opportunity to play
that.
college ball.
I like that.
All of them not going to get a chance to play.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I still want them to be on that stage prime example, a friend of mine, he runs the Atlanta Tip-Off. You can pull it up. It's not a live period event, but it's one of the top non-live period event in the country. In the country. So when we went and played there, Michael Williams was there. The one-armed guy was there.
Okay.
His team was there. So all the top programs all over the country are there. Wow. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So things like that. And he's a friend of mine. So if I had a kid that could catch his attention or catch some of the sports writer attention, now you on the road.
They on the road.
So I try to do things like that. Like my middle school, my son in the 8th grade now, so now we'll start tapping into some of the little exposure event. Not a whole bunch of them, because exposure events are expensive. You know what I'm saying? So it won't be a whole bunch of them, but I don't try to do 1,000 games.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because we talk about that, like just wearing them out. Like when does your body recover? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, even with my daughters, you know, when we got done in July, we played at 1 or 2 events in July. August and all the way up into school ball, we didn't get in the gym. You know what I'm saying?
Breathe for a minute.
Breathe, let your body heal, get ready for high school so you can give it your all in high school.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I'll try. That was our biggest thing. We didn't want to burn them out and make
Burn them out.
hate it.
Right.
I'm gonna say something. I think in this is a different sport in softball, man. I think that while a lot of not baseball, well, I'm sure baseball too, but I get a lot of softball girls who go to college and shut it down. And I asked them, I said, "Yo, what's up?" He's like, "Coach, it's higher." You know what I mean? Because softball, they go year round. I'm talking about just finish softball season right into travel.
Yeah.
You feel me? And so crazy. I asked her, and a girl I interviewed one time, man, I asked her, I said, so playing travel softball, is it you or is your parents? She said, it's my parents. So you feel me? So you know what I mean? When she's a high schooler. She's like, Coach, she's like, I love travel ball. I love it. She's but I wish there was a way I could break it down and not do year round.
Much.
You know what I mean? Sometimes I just want to be a kid, like you said, recover, breathe, then go back out there, do that thing. You know what I mean? So, so it's like I said, me and Mike talk about it all the time, wondering, you know what I'm saying, when it's too much. But at the same time, I'm pro travel ball. I'm pro travel ball because I know exposure and the competition is different.
Right. It is, man. And then, you may have that kid. I'm going to tell you, shout out to Gina in West Point. Her son is Kalia Scott, Gina Scott. Kalia, he played 1 semester of basketball at Springwood, and he came back to Troop. He didn't play any more basketball. Went on the circuit. JUCO's looking at him. All right, so I got a friend at Southern Crescent, Calvin Sinkfield. Calvin Sinkfield played at Griffin and played at Southern Union. Well, played at JUCO in Texas, then played at Southern Union. I mean, not Southern Union, but Georgia Southern.
Okay.
Big time. So he's the coach and the AD at Southern Crescent. So I call him up and say, hey, you might need to take a look at the kid. Kid go up, offer him a scholarship. It didn't work out. Things happen.
Right.
Kid realized I messed up. I wasn't serious about it because he was going to get red-shirted because, Sinkfield wanted to see is he going to do his academics and was he willing to get in the weight room because he's a skinny kid.
Right.
So, it didn't work out. So the kid stayed on the grind, kind of went to a little prep school, but he always came home and worked out with my travel team.
Okay.
Tried to stay in shape.
Right.
So all of a sudden, he went to this HBCU camp. Chris Cameron, he's from LaGrange, from Canterville, but he coached at Albany State.
Okay.
And somehow the coach from Pennsylvania. I think New Jersey.
Okay.
From New Jersey, saw him. Now this kid is in New Jersey. He got a second chance. Wow. Now he ain't played but one semester of basketball. He's in New Jersey.
Hooping.
Getting ready to play these 2 years.
That's crazy.
So that's what travel ball can do for some kids that don't make their high school team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or a kid that,
they get that full opportunity.
They get the full opportunity in high school, or just came up short academically and then finally got it together and it was too late. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But this kid, to me, you know, the opportunity is there. You'll get that opportunity in travel ball faster than you would high school basketball.
Gotcha. So it's a lane for it.
It's a lane for it.
Wow.
Gotcha.
But like I said, if we can all work together, because it's all about the kids.
End of the day, man.
End of the day.
End of the day, man.
You know what I'm saying?
End
But
of the day.
sometimes, you know, we get caught up in other stuff that not
Wins
benefiting.
and losses.
Man,
and
but
Yes.
man, I'm gonna tell you this, man. I'm gonna
And
tell
that
you this,
dollar.
man. So in terms of training, man, you know, I remember, you know, when I first, like I said, you know, first coming to this whole thing, training, you know, I made it clear to all the coaches. I said, yo, I'm not here to take over. I'm here to supplement. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
like for example, you know, so like, you know, every high school kid I train, middle school kid I train, I find out what they're doing at their school, right? And I play off that. You know what I'm saying? And I think some way, somehow, man, but it's gonna take some ego dropping down. You know what I'm saying? With high school coach, with AAU coach, you know what I mean? Got to sit down and be like, yo, you know, I think we can help this kid working together. You know what I mean? But I made it my business. Like, you know what I mean? So somehow, some way, you know, as I get AAU coach, got to be like, yo, we're going to make sure that we know that, you know what I'm saying, high school is first. You feel me? High school is first, and we just supplementing to get this kid, end of the day, opportunity for a scholarship.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
you got to think about it too. If they're in a program where they teach the fundamental, teach them the mindset of a player, and like we said, half court offense, know when to run, make better decisions, you're gonna have a better player. Think about it. When kids start playing high school season start in October. In October now. You can't start playing with a ball until October.
Right.
Okay.
The season start in November.
Right. So you got a month.
You got a month, 4 weeks. So you start playing. If your team good enough, you may play all the way up until February.
Okay.
All right. So you had all that time. Really, you got to run plays. You doing some conditioning or whatever. So you really not training the kid. You programming the kid, right?
Yeah.
All right. So here come travel ball starts. We got time to train. We got trying to work on more of the fundamentals to have them ready for when they come back to you. And you can start implementing your plays.
Right.
Because they already know the fundamentals of the game.
Yeah.
We have more time with the kids
Then high school.
in the high school. Outside of them, you know, just playing game or whatever. But we have more time to focus on the little things. The ball handling, the shooting, the techniques. Because you got to get into plays.
X and
You
O.
got to
for real.
implement.
And so it's Mike, man. So I mean, that we talk about here.
All the
You know what I'm
time.
saying? We here talk about how we're that. You know what I mean? Coach ain't got time to really break down the kid.
No.
'Cause, I mean, I understand why. 'Cause you got have a long
Lots.
50-minute, hour and a half, 2 hour practice.
Yeah.
You ain't got time to do
You
that.
got time.
You know what I mean? You want to get them X and O's out the way. So if everybody understood their assignment, if everybody understood their assignment, big dog, I think this thing it'll transition better.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It definitely will. It definitely will. So big dog, listen, man. That's something, man. You know, in every show, man, you know, we always, you know what I'm saying, give the guests an opportunity to say something positive. You know what I mean? So when you got a few seconds, man, get your mind together, man. Lead the listeners and the viewers something positive, big dog.
All right, here's something positive.
Off the top.
Parents, you have to be there for your kids. That's the biggest blessing they will have as an athlete, a student athlete. If they see you in that stand, yelling their name, because they going to know your voice over anybody's voice. Yeah. That's the biggest thing that could help your child be successful. You got to have that support system.
Agreed.
You know, not just being supportive, making sure they have the shoes they want, the haircut they want. No, by being in the stands, you know, watching the game, cheering them on, take them to different games. You know, that's the biggest thing that a child needs. If they got that parent back in them, they can do a lot.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, just to piggyback off of that, man, parents are the kids' first heroes.
Yeah.
Are the
Most
first
definitely.
superheroes.
Most definitely.
Like I'm gonna leave just basically, man, parents, we just gotta do a better job at just being better role models. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, like be at those games. Instead of shouting at the referees and the coach, man, well, he don't know what he doing.
Yeah.
But he don't. Instead of doing all that, hey man, figure out another way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like lead by example. So like I say, man, just parents. I mean, again, just continue to be better parents, and I think, man, it's gonna help out in the end.
Man, that's what's up, man. Big homie. Man, I appreciate you coming through, man.
Yes, sir.
I always appreciate you coming through, man. Yo, you already know.
Hope you have me back.
Man, I'm about to say, but you know it's not gonna be our last time, baby.
We in that ship.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Hey, listen though, I promise you, man, we are gonna cover you guys, man. I'm gonna get with April, man. We're gonna figure something out. We definitely gonna figure it out, man.
That's a market for it,
Man, I promise you that we're gonna figure it out, man. So yo, everybody, y'all know what it is, baby. Zip 'em up.